In other news, today militants in Syria have attacked a facility being used to house refugees in the government-held part of Aleppo. Some of the upcoming footage is upsetting. Six civilians were killed in the shelling which hit a university campus. Staff at a nearby hospital say they are also treating 20 others. Several are children who've reportedly suffered facial injuries. The western half of Aleppo has been under constant rebel shelling over the past 3 weeks. Well, among the news that was overshadowed by the result of the US election was a Pentagon revelation about civilian casualties caused by US airstrikes in Syria and also Iraq. An assessment carried out by US Central Command looked at 24 airstrikes in those countries over the past year. It says in total 64 people were killed. It states, however, that each case complied with the law of armed conflict, despite, quote, the unfortunate outcome. The report also mentions that the country's anti-ISIL operation, of which the strikes were a part, cost the taxpayer around $9.3 billion. The report, though, does not mention a number of incidents when the US-led coalition was accused of indiscriminate bombing of civilian areas. For instance, one of the most deadly US strikes to date near the Syrian city of Manbij. That isn't talked about. It took the lives of more than 70 civilians. Central Command claims its investigation into the case is not yet complete. We discussed the disclosure with Abayomi Azikiwe. He's the editor of the Pan-African Newswire.
The fact that they've admitted to anywhere between 24 to 60 plus deaths in both Iraq as well as Syria indicates that they are not precise in their targeting of the Islamic State. And of course, they have been carrying out these airstrikes in Iraq as well as in Syria now for several months. Over the last 2 years, they've admitted to carrying out over 12,000 airstrikes in both countries. So this war is not receding. In fact, it is escalating. People have been preoccupied with the national presidential elections, where these issues were not discussed at all. The elections were characterized by personality conflicts, personal attacks, and charges of impropriety, and no real substantive discussions or debates took place in regard to U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East.
That's how the news looks so far today here on RT International. We'll have more for you in about half an hour's time. Before that, though, it's worlds apart.